So
Let me see.
Okay.
Thank you for being here, by the way. Yeah, because when I go back to events on the page,
Yeah, it's gone. What happened to it? It's not
I
there.
know. Okay, so I started the meeting and then I tried to get into the meeting and it said meeting already in progress. So I hit end meeting and it erased the entire meeting.
Oh,
So what do I do?
I'll create it again right now.
I'm so sorry. It's my first, sorry.
it's okay. That stuff happens. Unfortunately, I'm not a Zoom expert. It's the only one that I'm not an expert at in the world. Sorry.
I'm so happy you're here, Meg. Meg, this is Neil. Neil, this is Meg. She's a
Meg.
co-founder of Bloom Network.
Hello.
Hi, sorry, multitasking.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just thought I'd listen. I have to do a links audit at work, so it works out good for me to listen and just, participate a little bit.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna have to start it at 11:15 because it won't go, let me go back in time.
Okay.
Or-
Mm.
Okay,
You
it's
want to start
there.
at 11:05?
Two events. So there it is again.
And Tina, don't make a big deal out of accidentally deleting it.
Okay. Neil is kind of interestingly coaching me to be a good leader. He's strict and I take his advice.
Well, direct, clear.
He's
I don't
direct
like,
and clear.
yeah, because we want to create a self-organizing culture, like,
Yeah.
where it's a free-for-all, everyone gets to do whatever they want, but it's just clear that you can do that, but no one's telling anyone what to do.
Exactly.
Don't
It's an
worry.
interesting process, though. I appreciate your leadership style. You are a natural leader, and Meg's the leader. Like, I love this is like a gathering of leaders. And I'm still trying to grapple, Meg, like how I think I just have to do a deep dive for a day and just relook at all the pitch decks on Bloom and just get a feel for what it is I'm being tasked to do, because I'm gonna have to do it for LaLa Gardens too, but I'm having some problems figuring that out.
I don't think we gave you any tasks just yet because we were getting into that communications plan with our intern. I think maybe for our meeting that's later today, we'll be able to kind of see what she has done. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about that, Tina. When you get something that you're supposed to do, it'll be clear and simple. And until then, we're just so glad to have your presence. That's what's important.
Okay, good. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people hang around for like a year before they do anything, and that's okay. That's just how it is.
Okay.
We just want to be part of LaLa Gardens and
Yeah.
help you the way that we can. I mean, and it's nice because we've had like Flavia from Rio de Janeiro hanging around for years, like 5 years, and now we're helping her build her platform. That was her dream. So it's just awesome that she hung around with us. She like had a vision that we were the right people for her, and we are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Are you familiar with Bloom at all, Neil? I know I'm talking to you.
Sorry, what?
Are you familiar with Bloom Network?
No, but I just read about it because I put together Meg's profile on the wiki.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited about that Wisdom Council. I feel like there's going to be different ways to integrate, and I want to make sure that it's of value to people, that it's not just something you show up at a board and listen to things you're not interested in, because I'm a rebel, so I want to appeal to other fellow rebels in that way. But yeah, so I just see this, Neil's compiled an amazing array of leadership trainings and communication trainings with some pretty Maria Arpa. I don't know if you know who she is, but that course is being offered through the Wisdom Council and leading into potential board activity for LaLa Gardens is top notch. I took a 4-week course with her and it changed a lot in my life. It was very influential. So anything that we could do for our Wisdom Council that seems interesting, don't hesitate to ask for it.
Okay, yeah, I'm just communicating with, yeah, here they are.
Okay. Oh, good. Definitely someone I wanted to talk to.
So ladies on, you can start talking
Hi, Letty.
while I make sure other people are on.
Okay, thank you.
Hello,
Hi, thank you for being here.
my pleasure.
You've done so much work on the grant stuff. Did you see the updates? Hi, Leah. Hi, Brandon. Oh, good.
Yeah, I was about to open that document. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's
So-
good. You can send it today. I think it's gonna be great.
Okay, cool. I
So
don't know
this
how
is-
we do it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tina.
Well, yeah, before we launch, I think we have a quorum for just almost introductions. I think everybody's new to each other here, except a few of us. And
Yeah, Tina, why don't you just share that this is the LaLa Gardens Cooperative
Okay.
Weekly Call.
this is the first LaLa Gardens community weekly call. And I'm really excited about it. I feel like there's just such a diversity, just a plethora, a garden of diversity for us to offer, both as recipients and active participants of this particular meeting. So hopefully we can work through the agenda document and make sure that we're hitting everything that everybody needs to have in order to participate in the ways that serve them best. So let me put that agenda in the chat. And open up for introductions. I'm Tina Trout. I'm steward of the LaLa Gardens Cooperative in real life. And I'm excited to be opening the garden up for everyone to participate. That's me.
You want to pass it on?
Oh, Meg, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Meg Rivers. I'm a co-founder of Bloom Network, and Tina has connected us with LaLa Gardens as, you know, a Bloom moving forward. Blooms are local groups that are active in regenerative culture, and we strengthen those groups' efforts and try to help them achieve permanence in their communities. LaLa Garden is already a piece of land, a permanent fixture, and a wonderful addition to our chapters. And what we find is a really beautiful unity of vision across regenerative cultures. People all working for what we know that the land needs to sustain itself into the future. So I'm here to listen and learn about LaLa Gardens, and also interested, potentially in maybe owning a part of it myself in the future. So thanks for having me.
Meg, you want to pass it on to someone?
Oh, I was supposed to do that. My bad. Let me look at the list. Letty, you're next.
I'm next. Hello, I'm Letty. I'm here under the region living structure. We are an ecosystem that is trying to upgrade civilization by making places more regenerative. And this group here as well is trying to implement all kinds of structures, be it legal, financial, and regenerative based practices to make this happen. And we are here to support LaLa. And yes, to make this project a success in many fronts. And I pass it to Neil.
Thanks, lady. That's the first time I've heard someone describe the region living as an introduction, as a bio. It's pretty cool. I'm also part of that region living DHO/ecosystem, and my role is to combine the community organizing with the cooperative development world, with the real estate development world, with the world of regenerative, and I'm going to dare say decentralized systems. But it's like, how can we create these new models of co-creation that define a new generation of society, right? And that's it. I'm going to pass it on to Leah and Brandon.
Hey, hi, I'm Leah Gibbons. I'm also with Regen Living Ecosystem. and the nonprofit Regenerative Living Institutes and the for-profit Cooperative. And those organizations essentially are kind of trying to implement work I've been doing for many decades. And most recently, I created a regenerative community development framework as a part of my dissertation work. And so that provides us with processes, a process tool, an evaluation tool, as well as many other things to help guide us in these regenerative efforts. And so we use those tools and larger, regenerative field to support projects, people, places, bioregions, and so on, and becoming regenerative in a variety of ways. And here's Brandon.
Hello, I'm Brandon. I support all of what she just described, and I do that in ways that I've found are fairly rare. I can get into the headspace, but I'm also very, very good in the physical world. So building things, creating the actual structures, supporting the community that's living and interacting and thriving in those structures. That's what I do. Yeah.
Just a quick note, everyone here, for the most part, is part of the LaLa Gardens Steward Circle, which we're securing a grant to do a 9-month training program that Tina and Letty and I already had the privilege of getting a 2-week sample session of. And if you want to see the Steward Circle, it's majority women and majority BIPOC, majority people of color. And I think it looks like it's like 40% Native American, which is amazing. And that's Tina's network. So this is the basis for the cooperative. I just wanted to throw that out there. So Tina, you have things on your agenda.
Yes. Yeah, I guess in connection, I might jump around. I might jump around a bit just because I'd like to sort of match it up with the fact that we are here all together as a steward circle. That is really incredible. So, because what I think it's going to lead into, and this is the brainchild of Neil, is that, and through our experience with various DAOs at this point, because a lot of us are deep in on these types of meetings and organizations, and it's like you cannot have two people together without conflict, as Maria Arpa has so eloquently redefined or defined the true meaning of conflict. And so to step into a way of being together right away, like onboarding means like, hey, let's learn a partnerism way of communication so that we can do work together. That's going to be eventually so fulfilling and helpful within our communities is just, it's beautiful. So it is, and it's an interesting thing. It's going to require a commitment of 9 months to not only personal growth, but growth as an organization and growth as a group of leaders that are coming together to do this decentralized work. I really think that we're going to be a model for so many people and how to function within this new world we have. So I would like to explore within the agenda how we can start off on the best foot in terms of like Discord and having this LaLa Gardens as a beginning example of what that looks like. And I see that all of us here have different pieces to offer, like educationally, like Leah, I would love to be able to offer courses through the actual Discord. I would like to see the Discord kind of operating as an onboarding itself that leads not only into communication, but also into like hands-on and sort of applicable types of education. So I personally have one student who would love to come into Discord. He's never been in Discord. He wants to come in and actually be led through a course. So I'm sort of opening up the floor to see if anybody else is interested in this as an experiment. And I would need help setting it up. The only one here that I think would, so yeah, there's that.
Well, Meg, are you familiar with Discord?
Was that a question from me for Meg?
Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. I know a lot about Discord.
Okay, well, because I know everyone else is, so I just wanted to check in on that.
Yeah, and just a little bit about me. I'm a senior systems admin at HBO, building a SaaS apps hub for the 40 plus applications created to make films from A to Z. I have been a software platforms instructional designer for 22 years. So me and all the systems are A-okay.
We need to add that to your bio. We definitely need to add that to your bio. That is not in your bio.
I know, I try to leave it out because it's a little, I don't know, my bio can get a little overwhelming.
Yeah, so Mike, I guess you are the one responsible to do this development for the new Bloom platform, right? You were the main one.
Yes, I am a creator of the Bloom platform. I've been project managing that build. My co-founder and CEO Magenta has been coding the front end, and then we have a full stack cloud architect who has been designing the back.
Cool. That's
But
great.
you have, Meg, you have the shortest bio by far, so I'm going to listen to the recording and add what you said to your bio.
Okay,
If you don't mind.
I don't.
Okay, great.
So without
then-
adding work to your plate, how can we interface so that like so that we can utilize your amazing capacity for creating things and still, you know, actually being of service as well? Because I would like to see, because one of the difficulties about natural farming is that you have to teach it on site, and yet it's going to be the effectiveness of natural farming for building soil is unmatched in my experience. So I know we're going to have to disseminate the teachings and other kinds of teachings in this virtual space, but I'm wanting to do it in ways that kind of step people through these iterations and have this practice feedback loop. Like, here's step one, prove to me you did it. You get a POAP, yay, or something like that. So, so yeah, creating templates, and I know, Meg, you're interested in templates. So maybe there's a way to kind of formulate or like have the templates that you're designing be templates that LaLa Gardens can use within this community, so that then we have this overlay.
Well, and I can also show you the automation system that I set up for new blooms, which you yourself went through. It's like, you know, when somebody writes a message like, hey, I want to be a new bloom, it just sends them like the first 20 steps. So we don't have to do anything. And it wasn't complex at all. It was no code, Google, just using, you know, Google Forms and Google applications. So, so yeah, I'm happy to help with that in the future. I'm not always available for meetings and things like that. But yeah, why don't you take me offline, Tina, and I can help you where I can and get you started.
Okay, so yeah, I could lead me in a few directions, then I could sort of like put it into a document so that everybody sees what's going on and we can key in that way. I guess we'll just organize as we go. I'm new to sort of this level of organization, so whatever any kind of direction or correction, Neil's been amazing for giving me clear focused. Just know that I may need help.
So why don't you just consider me a solutions person in terms of if you're trying to do something digital, just, you know, ping me, we can set up a meeting and I can give you, you know, the start of like, okay, this is the tool that you should use, head this direction, and then we can troubleshoot as you go along.
Excellent. I appreciate that so deeply.
Yeah, while we're on the topic, Meg, would you maybe give a little more elaborate version, description of what Bloom Network is and what it does and how it could relate to LaLa Gardens?
Yeah, so Bloom Network, we founded in 2009. It used to be a network called Evolver, which had been created as a social media platform to a wacky e-zine called Reality Sandwich, psychedelic e-zine. And these four sort of tricksters out of Manhattan, who were a little bit famous each in their own right, had created this social network as an answer to their e-zine, because their psychedelic e-zine was getting really popular and the people were crying out, we want community. So they put out a call to find evolutionaries, as they called it, people who felt like they had sincere information that can help accelerate the evolution of human consciousness in science or in botany or in sustainability and horticulture, or, you name it. And so more than 200 cities answered that call. Not just 200 people, 200 cities, mind you. And so we all sort of came together from this call, based around, interest in plant medicine and whatnot. And as it turned out, that platform really was interested in, we were an experiment for them in impact capitalism, which I didn't really appreciate being a participant in against my will. So they sort of took our sacred communities that we'd been building all our lives and just took those emails and made us a marketplace to sell life straws and cheap Buddhist bangles. So we rebranded one night and took all 83 Facebook groups and called ourselves Bloom. We went through a very extensive process to try to find the right name for us and the right sort of feel and voice and branding. We decided on Bloom, and we separated from that original culture that made that call. And so for 13 years, we've been preparing to make that call again, but we didn't want it to fall all apart the way that it did, or for us to capitalize on people's communities, right? We want to strengthen and nurture people's communities, not sell them things. And so we spent all this time with hundreds of volunteers from all over the world trying to decide what was it that culture needed to transform. And it just needs a team to reduce your obstacles. Right? Because as soon as you get people together, month one starts the conflict, and then starts the money problems, and then starts the mismanagement of your money problems. And the groups that are trying to accelerate the evolution of our consciousness all sort of fall into the same traps and end up dissipating before they get any real power or clout in their communities. Now, some of these, they used to be called spores, right? The local chapters now that are called blooms, did achieve permanence in their communities. And permanence can be a garden like LaLa, it can be a coffee house, it can be an art gallery. We just want them to get a physical space where then what happens is that the energy of regenerative culture is permanent. Once you set up a hub of regenerative culture in your town, that space, no matter whoever gets in there, is great, right? And so that's what we're trying to do, is to get a hub of regenerative culture to grow in every watershed in the world. And the point is to become eventually the police of your watershed, because nobody's watching our watersheds. Politicians are watching our watersheds, right? And they're not even minding our food well. Like they're not, that's the least of their problems. And it's not their priority. And they also, in many cases, are sort of happy to delegate it to someone else. They don't want to police sewer plants and watersheds, and they don't care about that stuff. We do. So we are trying to take back for the commons what is ours through Bloom, through stewardship that we create. We have a cyclical theme. Every quarter we have a theme that falls under art, nature, tech, or economy. And then those themes come back around again, because it takes more than one meeting to solve, plastics in your community or things like that. And so we have a lot of blooms that were already existing, like LaLa Gardens, people who sort of found us, like they're just in the vibe, right? They're already doing the work, and they realize that Bloom Network is an amplifier and a friend and a connector for these groups. And now we've made a platform. So it's social media that really helps you improve your life. And instead of stealing your data, you own your data, and you decide what to do with that data and how it works for you. And I'd say in conclusion, it's also social media that doesn't leave a room for a troll. The reason we have so much vitriol online is the same reason you have spiders in your bedroom, because you gave them a place to be. So Bloom Network eliminates the place for a troll. There's no feed, there's no comments. There's simply user created information of impact and an aggregator for impact in each community, ways to connect and reach permanence for regenerative culture in your area. And of course, LaLa Gardens is such a perfect, beautiful bloom for Colorado. So
that was epic.
Oh, it's epic.
Yeah, I had no idea that's what you all did, and I'm not sure. I mean, well, Tina brought you in for obvious reasons, because what you are doing, there's so much parallel with what we're looking to do, and then it's so complementary in so many ways. Because, like for instance, the Leah and Brandon's team are like, how do we build things, physically build things using natural building systems that are regenerative as physical manifestations of regeneration, and then also provide standards like they're working on regenerative development goals to be the evolution of the sustainable development goals of the United Nations. And so, or a regenerative version of LEAD, right? So those are the things they're working on, and then to apply that physically. So they apply that to actually your Bloom network. Sounds like a natural fit. And then Letty is creating a, I'm only doing their bios for them because they have to leave soon. I want to condense everyone's pretty quickly here. But like Letty's is establishing the tokenomics, the currency, the local economies that we can apply to each and every single one of these blooms, like as a self-sustaining economy, currency, culture that can then be interconnected, interdependent as well. So almost like she's creating a bloom economy model. And then what I'm doing is adding on the how do we organize the culture and the community organizing and the ownership so that people can own these things. And so like one of my resources, as I was sharing, was a sharing law in the practicing law in the sharing economy. How do we build the legal and financial systems that allow us to actually by default create these sovereign communities versus everything controlled by corporations and government. So we're creating the legal structures to actually do all this. And so we're using LaLa Gardens as basically our pilot for having this be a model, like the first Airbnb venue. That's what we see LaLa Gardens as, the first Airbnb venue. So that once we do that, everyone can build their own Airbnbs or everywhere. Platform cooperativism. So what Leah and Brandon are doing is, and correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm saying it out line, I don't think I am, but so I'm just gonna be transparent because we're all transparent here. Tina's property is in foreclosure. She has maybe a month or two before the banks take it over. So Leah and Brandon are coming in and helping form a LLC or with their nonprofit or person or whatever it takes to purchase the property, and they can find lenders. Like Tina needs about $100,000 to actually purchase the property to get it back. And the only way people are going to lend that kind of money is if it's to an entity they can trust. So Leah and Brandon have an entity that lenders trust. So they're going to lend it to them so that they can be the interim owners of the property, keeping in mind that Tina's mission and her objective and her values and everything, and to then transfer it over to a cooperative that has agreements that allow Tina and her mom to live in like a 99, I don't know, I'm making stuff up, but like a 99-year lease so that they're there permanently, as far as without being owners. How can you have your cake and eat it too? And so that's the model what we're working on. I think that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, and just let me add real quick, sorry for taking up so much time, but our platform will be $10 a month, the Bloom platform. And after a year, if you are a brand new Bloom, after a year, you can switch 80% of your local memberships to you. So after a year, if you get 120 people or something to sign up for your Bloom platform, you have $1,000 a month for a commercial space to rent. Right. And so for existing blooms like LaLa, it won't take a year. We'll have, a series of references and whatnot. But we met Tina and it was just obvious that Tina was going to become an easy member of our international Bloom. And when you can see such immediate and both adjacent and concentric connections with what you guys are doing. So just happy to be a part.
Well, while you're on the line, what can you explain, what does the membership, what are the membership benefits, or how does that work?
So So the platform is public where you can see the aggregations of the impact for each community. You can find your geographical community, but you can't meet anybody until you pay and log in. So it's the access to the people that you're paying for. So once you log in, then you're in the Bloom Womb. And the Bloom Womb is where you can see the profiles of the people. You could find yourself a volunteer. You could recruit people to join your Bloom or your cause. That sort of thing. You have access to all the templates that we've collected over the last 13 years. We are templating the process from start to finish to begin a Bloom. So that's 90% of the work is writing the emails, writing the Facebook invites, all of that will be there for you. So really you just have to lift it, post it. We're trying to take all the work out of creating regenerative cultures, and Tina's working on also templates that she has and doing. We actually just had a grant that paid people for submitting templates. So
Wow. Maybe we can have a separate call where we get a tour.
it'll be live, I think, in July. We're having a birth party for it in 2 weeks in Costa Rica for all the organizers who have, spent all these years working for free for doing that. And yeah, after 13 years, I finally got paid. I got some money for my templates because I'd made so many extensive templates. So I was like, woo! That's like a fraction of a cent per year, but still. Yay, they paid me one time.
That matters. It breaks the force field. It's like, okay, the flow has begun. And now we get to like feed slowly and spread and slow. Love it.
Thanks for sharing. Anyone else have comments or thoughts?
Yeah, I love that this is coming to fruition now, because I was in this call like maybe 3 or 4 months ago with Bloom as well, and they were saying, okay, how can we make this kind of roadmap for everyone in the world to visit these places, these regenerative places, our Bloom local? And it was this kind of idea that trying to do a gaming system where people can fly into all these places, and it was like an Impact Pirates roadmap. So I'm very happy to hear this news, and that, yeah, like this is great, and maybe we can just join forces in this kind of ecosystem building.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that was us in terms of gaming. Maybe there's another Bloom out there.
Yeah, it was kind of maybe a fork of an idea to have a kind of idea going on. It was Magenta, so it was, it was like doing the tokenomics and the roadmap for these Impact Pirates thing. Yeah, and it was maybe a specific thing.
Magenta is our crypto tokenomics math coding guru, and it's way over my head. So I'm a software trainer, not a software developer, but yeah, God knows what she's got into, but that's awesome.
Using the piracy word in the crypto space. Amazing. I love that it's like the alignment is happening when all the filters are coming together and you're creating a new color looking through it. And I feel like that's really, the success of what we're doing here. It just feels good to be here talking like this.
Should we get to the more of the, since we have half an hour, 20 minutes left?
I was about to switch over just only because we are in the midst of creating a couple of grants proposals with Harmony and with Gitcoin. So some of the questions that are coming up in there that I would love to be able to populate are things to do with the budget. So we if we as a group, because we're all here now within the Regenerative Institute, if we could somehow populate that with what we're looking for from these grants. I don't have any idea what our budgets are, and I really don't even have any idea what our functions or our roles are. So if all of us could spend a bit of attention on that, then it would be easier for me to populate those documents, and maybe even our one place where all of that happens, plus all of our links, Discords, Twitters, IGs, whatever it is we want to include. That would be incredibly helpful.
Yeah, so these are the budgets for like, how can we do the work, and then that becomes a model for other projects.
Yeah, and we've talked many times about like, we all need income. So where are those income sources going to come from? They're going to come from the structure of how we organize within the cooperative, but it's also going to come somewhat potentially from these grants for the work being done. Like,
Yeah.
within my own NFT, I'm the artist, so I'm automatically getting 20% from the sales of that thing. So I think it's important that we start defining these income streams as we go along. And I have, that's all I've got. I don't know how to do that, but I know I need to fill out those spaces and
Yeah.
documents.
Well, it's basically people saying, we want to give you money. What's it going to be spent on?
Yeah, we need that.
So I don't know, between Brandon and Letty and Leah, those are more your areas of forte than for me.
And me.
But we would have to divide those up into different categories. One being, what is the minimal just to keep things going? Having to pay for mortgages, having to pay for taxes, having to pay for insurances, having to keep the water on, how to keep the electric on. Those are the basics. Then we go to now and do those come directly out of, or do those come from pieces of the secondary budgets? For instance, the income that would go to Tina, the income that would go to Leah for teaching courses, the income that would go to Letty for teaching courses. Do some of that go to contribute to that? I think that the best way to do it is to set up those basic minimums as an absolute. No matter where they come from, they have to be taken care of first. Then we start setting up the budgets for all the other things. And as soon as the minimums are taken care of, we start to fill up the other, water pails. And when those are full, they spill over. And when they spill over, then we've really got a good example. So we have to define those. I've asked a few questions, but I still don't have an intimate understanding of LaLa Gardens and the expenses. And until I get the financial position of how to transfer this from where it is, which is in arrears, to where it's healthy, then I'll be able to do those basic financials. But right now, my understanding is that it's around $300 to $3,500 monthly just to cover basics. I'll ask Tina to maybe email. You can call your utility company and get an annual average on any and all utilities. I'll be able to get the taxes when we get close to a closing. That'll show me a few years of taxes, and I can estimate out future taxes.
Okay.
Maintenance stuff, I'll probably have to get lots of photographs, or at some point do a site visit. The site visit would be good also for the improvements that we've discussed. When you throw out a $50,000 budget, having had many clients in the past, their budgets are what they understand from looking at things on TV, looking at things on YouTube, hearing the guy at Home Depot, hearing the handyman who showed up and fixed this, and it probably costs this much to do something like a bathroom or a facelift. So I know that with photographs, I can get it pretty close to accurate. With a site visit, I can get very close.
Okay.
And with caveats that material inputs are changing on a bi-daily basis. That's going to be one of those things that's an estimate for now, but will change. Absolutely will change. So.
Yeah, and I'd like to bring something else into the conversation for us to think about as we're actually building these templates, because one of the things, we all face a decision to step into a regenerative future, and some of that means natural building. So like, for instance, I've kind of made a commitment that I won't use certain materials in upgrades anymore. Like, I almost put a halt to it all, because I'm thinking, okay, so if we want to come in and do plaster finish on everything, we could maximize by turning it into an educational event where we have people. And that's why I have a videographer as an artist in residence, because now we have the capacity to build a curriculum on videos that teach people how to do natural building upgrades. So I think that's a niche where we can really shine with educational materials. So I think any plan going forward should include an educational overlay, so that we can start to sort of show what it's like. Okay, yes, it's going to cost to do this work, but we're going to create value not only for our ecosystem, but for ourselves.
Well, this whole process itself. Yeah.
And I'll give you a term that I coined years ago out in Phoenix, and it covers all the things that you would describe that way, that would take renovation or new building, but incorporates natural materials and methods, and it's eco retrofit. So any existing structure that we would change to make it more closely aligned with regenerative or just sustainable, but in the direction we're going, it's an eco retrofit. So
Okay.
I've got so many examples of what that is.
Oh,
And so earth and stucco, like you just mentioned, where we would
Yeah.
want to do a new plaster layer on something to make it look good, make it more attractive, but it's a living example. It's a form of eco retrofit, and we'll use resources from site.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. I'm so excited. Okay, I've got chills. I've had chills this entire meeting.
Those
So yeah,
courses and classes that I've taught in the past, and I did, the last one I did was about a year and a half ago. There were 14 people that showed up, and in a week, an entire bathhouse made from slip straw, made from edge cuts, made from the trees right on site, and a composting toilet and shower house. And it was all done in 2 weeks with 14 people that had no clue. One guy besides me understood the difference between a tape measure and a spade. So here we go.
Brandon.
And that was an average of that. Those courses are an average of $1,500 per person per week.
Yes.
So there's good profit there, but it also allows us to say, thank you, everybody learned, enjoy taking this information back home. And now I can hire a few people to come in and finish it out, make it perfect, or change some stuff, fix it, send the report to everybody that was participating in the class, and they see, we did this, I fixed this, or we did this a little different, made it better. Here's the final result if we didn't finish it during the class. But it also allows me to hire a few contractors, a few specialty guys that I can train on the side to use natural materials and methods, but they know the system with conventional materials and methods. So they're there learning with the students and making sure it's done perfectly, done right, not perfect, but done right. So the students walk away with a right knowledge, and the product is right. The finished product is right. So that the money can go towards LaLa Gardens, can go towards the greater initiative, but also it's there. And we've got a network to advertise these to. I'll step back in and do those classes. Now, it's a holistic approach. So Leah teaching the community how to come together, why to come together. Then I step in and show them what you do with that knowledge of community-based effort and knowledge and thought. Now we put that together in a tangible physical thing. And it continues from there if they really get both the theoretical, the mindset, and the physical production. And it grows. Yeah.
You know the definition of wisdom, right?
I
So
do.
there's information, knowledge, and wisdom is putting knowledge into practice.
Mhm.
So what we're doing is building a wisdom platform. And this is right in keeping with how I want to operate, and that's an I as in like we, like it's just has to do with actually providing those pathways to wisdom.
And that's
And what a
great.
capable team to do that.
I love Wisdom Platform. So yeah, we
Okay.
are going to have to go to our next meeting.
Okay.
We have to sign off in the next couple minutes to get there.
Okay, cool.
What-
Brandon, do you want to coordinate a three-way with Asset? Because they seem like gangsters to me. And even if we want to like put
Yeah.
this over on the burner and just
Yeah.
focus on the mortgage part to save the property, I'm okay with that. We could have a meeting later, but if you want to call me, call direct. I'll do a three-way anytime today.
Yes, I'll call you today after our
Okay.
meeting. It'll probably be after 2:00 our time.
Okay,
And we'll go, they are, understand anytime you get the recording, and this is for everybody going forward as we approach others that are in this situation or just want to get out of the conventional. Anytime you get that recording, that this is a recording, or we're recording this conversation. This is an attempt to collect a debt. We must inform you of this. Now, over 80% of the mortgage lenders, the banks, those entities that handle money, say that because they've adopted the collection. They've even licensed themselves as collection agencies. They're not in the business of loaning money. They're in the business of hooking a fish. And when they get it close enough, or when that fish is tired enough or behind on payments enough, they gaff it, throw it in the boat, chop it up and sell it.
yep,
So those people I know how to talk to, and
okay.
I've already made some progress with one. We'll get on the others. So I'll
A quick
collect about
note of-
a couple hours.
Okay, so a quick task note, there in the Discord, there's a step 1, save the property. There's a note that says, Tina, in order for Brandon to talk to them, they need written authorization from you. Written authorization that says, Brandon, you can talk to Brandon. And
They
then you
have
can
that.
do that.
I know you sent them,
Yeah.
but you have to call and follow up because
Okay.
They
stuff
love
happens.
they love to delay it and lose it.
Yeah. It's,
Accidentally, it happens a lot, but they also have systems that delay it a lot.
Okay, I will,
so be a thorn in their side and
okay, I will call and make that happen and that's the first thing I'm gonna do after this call.
Okay. If you confirm they have it,
I'm gonna say.
then we're good. So, all right, we gotta go.
We gotta
Great,
Okay.
all right.
go. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna tell them about the weekend.
Yeah.
So, hey, by the way, just to bring it full circle, I won't provide details, but like, we started off the call with talking about the regenerative communication circle and how it's important to establish the feeling experience of that culture. So Leah and Letty and Brennan and I were just literally talking about that same thing, involving, I'm not sure this is could be off the record, but involving ceremonial practice, plant medicine, ceremonies, and then, eventually rituals. So like we're talking about like, yeah, absolutely need to do this. And I know you're already 3 steps ahead of this. We have Native Americans on the steward circle. It's going to be beautiful when we have these ceremonies on land to get everyone grounded in that shared culture of what this is all about.
It's gonna be beautiful. It is, rooted in the soil. Thank you, Neil, for bringing that.
Just like there are so many things at so many levels happening, and when you can see like the inspiration of this coming together and all the magical things that can happen, it's like when you get hooked into the project, like, yes, this is like a real blueprint in so many layers. So if we just can manage to just put this all together in an appropriate time and energy, it's like you see what this is going to. So that's great. We are in this phase that is like most energy consumer, maybe because we are just like in these steps, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, like we need to put this together and say, okay, we are in good grounds now. And this is maybe the minimum basics. Brandon was talking about like having this budget on the minimum basics, and then we have all these streams like flowing, and it's gonna be great. So we just really need to get this right in this first step, and I see the beauty of it all. And then all these richness and all, yes, the streams that are just flowing down and saying, yes, we have these educational things, we have these rituals, and you can showcase that. It's great. So it's like having this first thing, and it's, yeah, I see this being great.
Thank you, Letty. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like, yeah, and if just hound me if you see that there's a step that I'm not taking, and because I'm learning how to be organized. And
yeah, no, I think it's a question right now of like this urgency to get this first step right for all of us, like being, okay, we did our work well and we just spent our time and our energies and this is successful. I think that's the overall thing, like having this, as Brandon said, like if we kind of manage how this is distributed in fractals at the beginning, we need like maybe more things coming back to the first step. Okay, if we get several grants or several streams of money, we agreed on the first step, like is having this minimum basics covered. And from that, we build on top of that, and it's gonna be flow back, maybe in more time, but then we get this right. And it doesn't matter, it's like managing a treasury, and it doesn't matter how much it's gonna be in the future, because we have it right from the beginning. And that's the strength, like we have this fractal, and it's like, okay, maybe at the beginning until this 150,000, we think like, okay, this is the budget, this is several streams, we need this, and then it's gonna be like fractalized in the future. So we have all these streams. So I see like this budget is like the first stone we put there, like, and it's honest, and I think it's, yeah, it's like kind of being fair to our work as well, because if not, we are not being regenerative. We are saying we want to be, but we are not like taking care of ourselves as well in the way. So I guess it's good to do that from the very beginning as well. And that's a template to like for the others to show, okay, we want it to be regenerative from the beginning, because we know it's best done this way.
That's why I won't buy certain chemicals to do things I know need to happen because I've been waiting for a natural builder, and then Brandon shows up. I'm like, wow, of magnitudes of.
And maybe for that to happen, we need to be generous at the beginning and say, okay, we have these kind of needs. So it's a
Yeah.
different way to do it.
Yeah. So one of the things, okay, so I do have one student who reached out to me through the natural farming community who wants access to this knowledge I have that I'm kind of not exclusive in a bad way, exclusive in a way that needs to not be exclusive. I need to share the knowledge, and I want to do it right. And I want to do it through this alpha test with he's willing to come into Discord. He's willing to do so I need actually help with setting up a course, just one course in Discord for this one student as a kind of an alpha test or a beta test or whatever it is we want to do. Is that interesting to people? I know that Dan can probably help set up a course. Neil, do you have any suggestions for is there a tutorial I need to watch? Like,
well, first of all, is Discord designed to host courses? I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, and Regen Gardens has put together, I was hoping Crypto Ninja would show up because he's actually put a course together in Discourse where you actually, so you come in, you watch the first video, and I'm going to have like a thing set up where, okay, you have to share a video of the first step, and then that opens up the next step.
Yeah.
And then they watch a video or listen to or read something, and then they do the thing, post a video, and then it opens up to the next step. So you can create a pathway that way in Discord. So I was interested in giving that a try, unless somebody else has an idea for, I don't want to use Patreon or any of the typical Web 2 iterations. I want to step into something that's going to serve us as a platform eventually within.
Well, what we should eventually do, if not sooner, well, like, you heard of Coursera and Udemy.
Oh, okay.
So those are like, you can pay for like $25 and get like $300-400 courses because it's mass online.
Yeah, I see like Discord is another point in the user experience, and maybe they have the community on Discord, but then you come from other platform where the actual course curriculum is hosted, and then you come to Discord because the community is there and you're interacting there.
Okay, so Udemy is a good one for me to use.
Well, Udemy and Coursera are where they're kind of like the Amazon of education, this kind of stuff. So we wouldn't want to put our stuff on there because you get just sucked into their whole ecosystem.
Well, that's why. Okay, that's what
So
I
like,
avoid
so
that. What do I do?
I'm playing with. I'm modeling. I've been doing it for now a year and a half, and it's about to expire on July 20th. And I shared this with Leah and Letty like a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
But so it's called something like Mighty Networks.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And so I've got 3 courses on there. One is like how to set up a cooperative using the Common Grounds model.
Okay.
One is on self-organization. But like that's the whole fiat world where you have to pay to use that, right? So like it's like it's an experiment to see how to set this up. But like it's also kind of like not my passion.
Yeah.
I just set it up to say like this is how this could work. But it's like $800 a year.
This is the thing. That's why I want to use Discord. Just bring them into the community right away. It's like,
yeah, it's like sorry, we need to create new platforms that are really like useful to invite people to. And I see like this is like something we have to put thinking into it, like because you don't want to create content and using platforms that are not really something regenerative for your community, or as you want to call it, because you are not providing value and people are not there, and why are gonna go there and spend time? So I think like we have been talking about this, and Region Living just wants also to put out like a blueprint for this as well. Like it's like integrating all these points, like it's accelerating like regenerative practices. Why are you there? So it's like a little bit like Bloom is doing with the platform, like really gives content that is appropriate for the communities. We want to do that also for the educational space. Like, I don't know if it's accelerator content platform, but it's like, putting this all together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually Bloom Network will have an LMS because, I've been a webinar instructor. That's what I've done for most of my career. So I'm an expert in those kinds of platforms, but it is probably like version 3 or 4. And we're just now getting ready to launch 1.
Mhm.
just 'cause that's an enormous lift. But just want to say that is coming in the future for Bloom, is full project management software and also full LMS LXP capability. But yeah, I mean, I think I don't mind Tina's idea for using Discord if it offers a platform for that, like where the community is now. You can also potentially, Google Classroom for the back end to organize it. If you have videos that you just put, like use Google Drive, make videos, put them on the Google
Yeah.
Classroom.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah.
free and easy. But yeah, I haven't been on, every one. There's so many now. So.
Yes, it can be like the curriculum can be hosted on a Google Drive, and you have these steps like go this video and come here and do your practice. And the Discord is just for the practice based for the interaction.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that through the LaLa Gardens Cooperative Discord if you guys are down for that. just
Yeah,
to
and
put
there are
in
steps
alpha,
like
just see how it works. Because I mean, I like that Regen Gardens has an onboarding in their Discord for the projects. They're using it as the service onboarding, and that way, whatever happens in Discord, we can transfer over to Bloom or as these things are developing, and not have it just be.
Yeah, but here's the thing also, it's like there's a $2,000 shortfall per month in terms of revenue that you need to create, right? So education is having a massive online course where thousands of people could take a course on like how to develop a cooperative using LaLa Gardens as a live model, right?
Yep.
People will be willing to pay for that.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about building a platform where people are allowed to pay for that. Tina, you can't keep giving everything for free because you're not going to be able to do more LaLa Gardens,
Yeah.
So
yes, integrating both things, like it is you're learning and you are building, because that's why you're in the community and you're just wanting to have this knowledge, right? And it's like maybe you get things, but it's if you are regenerative and you build these communities. So I feel this is like a educational accelerator, and it has to have this kind of model as well. Not only came here and everything is so accessible because you don't value that, because it's like okay, it's here.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and eventually, like through the NFT, I mean, I just put together the flow chart. It really is worth spending some time and diving into that white paper, because I'm going to need editing help on that either. That's going to be the thing that launches on June 15th. It's the entire roadmap. It has a flow chart. I put it together last night at midnight, close to, and so that platform flow chart shows how people are onboarded through the NFT into the community. It also links up with what we're doing in real life. So like it can be a community supported educational platform that's integrating with everything else too. So
well, as you mentioned, like what you can't depend on just grants to pay for educators.
I'm selling an NFT. It is a ticket. It's my version of fiat. NFTs are magic.
I'm talking about.
I see. Yeah, what I see about
the topic. Yeah.
It's like we need to match this to the real life as well, because if we are also wanting to create community with the cooperative, those NFTs, which are like identity unique, that's also the membership to the LCA, right? So we need to match those, because I see like the real life also happening at the same time, and that's the incentive for people to come here and say, okay, I'm part of the cooperative, right? So the one paper has to say that specifically, like this is the NFTs for a membership, you will be a member of the cooperative. Maybe as a member, remember we have these patron members and investor members.
Letty, look at the new flow chart.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. If we manage to do that, that's perfect, because it's the structure for the cooperative to happen. And we have these steps too, like the budget first, it goes back to the first step, and then the other is like flowing to all the stream. So I see these NFTs in real life too, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, take a look specifically at the new flow chart and look at the bottom part at the integration where it says being the conversation or something, where it's the support system that ends up being how we can create that loop that you're talking about. So if you could apply some of your magic language to that lower part of the new flow chart, I think it would help me to put that language about membership through the NFT as a way to, as an ID methodology, but also as a way to track like POAPs, like, okay, so you want to be a natural
Yes.
farmer. Do you have all the POAPs? Have you done all the work? That's like the shared wallet stuff, that's all tokenomics. So take a look at that if you please. And then
Yes, it's like the different level of members we talk about with the micro.
Yeah.
It's like if you are a member of the LSCA, you will get this NFT if you are the regenerator of the year and A or the artist. So we'll have that. But like the first step is you are investing into this because you can be a member of the cooperative.
Exactly.
Because if not, we can come into the legal trap as well. So if you invest into this, you are a member of the cooperative. We want to be that clear. So you can hear as a member. Yeah. But yes, I will look into that and matching this with the legal. Yeah.
That'd be big. Going back to the education piece, I just want to clarify one thing. How Brandon mentioned, like some people will be willing to pay $1,500 for a week online training course. People fiat $1,500 money, right?
Mhm.
Paying for courses. Do you have any kind of aversion to that?
No.
Okay.
No,
So, that,
it's
so that's
the
what I'm talking
next step
about. Is
for me
like,
is I want to put 10-day immersion experiences to do the full natural farming course
Yeah.
here at LaLa.
Yeah.
I want to like do that. Like I want to get
Yeah.
on, all the B2B, whatever platforms and,
yeah.
work aways and all that, like set up the 10-day immersions. Cause that's why I'm not renting this apartment right now. I could be bringing in income from renting this apartment, but I stopped doing it because I want it to be the platform that we
Right.
use to do a 10-day immersives.
Yeah. So
I
that's
can
what
do
I'm saying. It'd
3
be ideal. We're
Yeah.
using this, not maybe it might be too soon to do this with a student, maybe not, but like find an existing platform that does educational courses that allows people to pay into it.
Okay,
Find an
I'll
existing
set it
platform
up
that-
I'll set up the 10-day immersives like either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, but like, we need to decide on which platform we at least use in the interim. Which educational online course platform that allows people to pay into it and take courses. Using Discord doesn't allow us to charge for that.
Okay, where should I go?
I don't know. This is something we need to. This is a decision we need to make as a community.
Yeah, we do.
Which one do
I
we
know,
use?
that's why I'm bringing it up as a.
This
yeah.
is the same way as Regen Garden is an NFT fundraising platform. What is the educational platform? And then, this becomes a great model that May can look at and say, hey, I can just use that model and use that for my education network, or maybe it can accelerate her program, right? But like,
Yep.
this is why we want to start using things that can be replicated. So if we're giving it away for free, no one's ever going to want to copy that.
No, I'm down for creating all kinds of fiat.
Yes,
stuff.
and we can upgrade that to this whole experience I'm envisioning. Like you have the accelerator and the educational course, and it's as well you build that at the same time in your community. So we can just integrate that. I feel like, and it can be a fun as well. Like if you come here, it's an accelerator, and yes, you are staking your money or your tokens, but you are getting something in
Mhm.
as a reward. So we need to create those incentives. If not, it's business as usual. No.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
moneynetworks.com is a solution. Let's see if we can find a better one. If not, but I've been hosting that for 2 years now with 3 courses on it. But hey, if we can find a better one, great.
Okay. Any suggestions?
I don't
Mike?
know. I really don't like any of the existing ones.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm not doing any of them.
Well, this is why we should post this as a channel in
Okay.
the region civics. In the region civics, I think will be the best place to post this.
Yeah, and maybe someone has a suggestion that we don't know about, and it's like something in creation, and we can just join forces with that. I will ask as well
Okay.
in my channels.
Well, I think we should create a channel for that
Okay.
education platform. Yeah. So I'll do that as soon as this call ends.
Alright. I mean,
Okay.
I have a whole video instruction on the entire natural farming course.
Yeah.
I have
Well,
it.
don't
It's
give it away
ready
for
to go.
well, anyway. We need to figure out how to put in a platform so this can generate
I
revenue
know.
so that you don't have bankrupt, you don't have foreclosures, right?
I know, Neil.
Right.
I've been prepping
Yes.
for a year for how to bring in fiat. Don't think I haven't. Kirill was here
Yeah.
to help do the piece as far as bringing valuation to the LLC. And
Yeah.
I've been strategically making courses for a year.
So now we're going to
There's
get the
nowhere to
community to
put
help
them.
build this. We're
Huh?
going to get the community to help build a platform that allows people to generate revenue for their own projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm prepped. I'm a prepper.
All right.
Okay.
I'll post a channel and tag both of you. And I'll
Okay,
tag Meg. Well, I'm Meg. Are you? No, I won't. You're overwhelmed as it is, I'm sure. But yeah, I'll post it in the Region Civics Discord in the next, right after this call.
Okay. I think we got work done. I feel like it was for our
Yeah.
first meeting. I feel really good about this. And then
Yeah.
people can watch it later and glean some
Yeah.
stuff. And we might even bring like that snippet. Meg, do you mind if I just snippet your presentation and post it as a video? That would be amazing. Can I get permission to do that? She's not there.
Here we go.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Can I
Yeah,
post
sorry.
that as a little intro
Post.
to the room?
Oh, what I said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's fine. And I can't necessarily be a full participant in this just with all the things that are in my life, but I am, interested and involved, and I'll be a helper for you, Tina. So if you're like, I don't know what to do, like ask Meg. And if I don't know what to do, then I'll be like, ask Magenta.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait to bloom with Bloom.
Great, and Tina, you already have a YouTube channel for LaLa, right? So I can post this
do.
video too.
I have
You can post this
Vimeo, I have
video too?
YouTube, I have interviews I need to post. I have a lot of things I need to post.
All right, I'll send you a link to the recording after this is over.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Great.
all right.
Nice.
Everyone.
Nice conversation. See you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
So great to meet you. Awesome work.
Good to meet you, Meg.
Bye.
Bye.